Hey everyone, welcome back to Prairie Wings Performance. I'm Merl and today we're still working on the 68 El Camino. We're yanking the engine out. Let's see how far we get today. So thank you for joining us. So there's been a great tragedy. My battery died, so I don't know how much I lost here, but we'll keep going and hopefully it doesn't die in the same spot when we go put it back together. So I definitely found some bolts in here that aren't exactly tight. And on these transmissions, you have to use chrome socket on certain ones because there's not enough room to get the socket on proper. The cross members out, park brake cables, disconnected. Oh, that was not tight that side. Little baby twang. Okay, so normally, if you have a big heavy tranny, you're going to want to, that's running down my armpit. You're going to want to have this transmission tied to the transmission jack. But this isn't some big automatic. I love tranny fluid, man. Smells wonderful too. Should be able to just wiggle it out of the clutch. Just simple as pie, right? Just come on out. That's not normal. Just wiggle right out. Gonna be difficult, are you? Gonna be difficult. What we do is just let this down so the jack can't make it come out crooked. Now it's just support it. Okay. Nothing. Just needed to go back in and then back out again, I guess. I didn't like doing it once, I like doing it twice. I'm okay with that. Came out like butter now. sure she comes down, nothing's hitting up. Nice little baby transmission. These are beautiful Tremec transmissions. 5-speed. So, not heavy, they're just beautiful little trans. Get rid of the trans, yeah. Clean up mess, I won't bore you with that. It's pretty goopy and grimy and grody. There's no front cover on here, which is fine. But you can see one of the holes with a bolt in, but I actually don't think that's still being used. So pull off the bell housing, and we'll take the clutch off. Housing's out. Okay, so cloud clutch got a little bit of goo on it, but what we'll do, this is supposed to be a brand new clutch, from what I understand. We'll take it off, clean it up, look at it. The one thing that you want to do, this is actually a Belleville spring clutch, and so very, very important to make sure that this pressure plate is backed off very evenly. Otherwise, this spring in here, this is a big spring, is going to warp and it'll be junk. So this is a big dollar, beautiful pressure plate, good clutch in there. So we'll just take our time taking that off. Ooh. Okay, so we might have an issue here because that one bolt was loose. I was expecting the torque on it. All these have been tight. I think someone just forgot to tighten the one bolt. That one there. We'll just keep taking it off in a nice fashion, nice and even. As you get more and more, it gets easier to turn. But you want to do it nice and even on this. Once we get to where it's totally even. And I think because there was one bolt loose, so the clutch just fell. So that's beautiful. It just slipped out. We know we're getting close there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, it's loose now. I'm going to pull all the bolts out and then we will pull it off, and on the bench I'm just going to measure the height of the spring, just because I didn't like that one that was loose. Okay. Ooh, we got an issue here. So this clutch is a little damaged. So she was heat checked pretty nastily. I guess I'll be calling the customer and seeing what he wants to do with that. Now I'm not sure how this motor is balanced on this. I don't know whether it's if it is a 350, I think it's a 383 if I remember right. But so the flywheel and the crank need to be matched if they're balanced. But what we got going on here is this looks like it had a pin there and that's where it was lined up. So as long as we put it back together with this hole and that pin together, we'll be stopped. So we'll be probably replacing that heat shield because the thing is soaked in oil and we don't need a fire down here. Dum-dum. So this is a non-reversible ratcheting wrench. And I thought, I'll give you another couple cranks on, and now it is to, nope, it'll come off. It almost looks like there was actual fire in the bell housing. There's a bunch of soot here. This is burned. So that's not a good deal. I'll have to follow up with that. By the way, leaning on crash wrap makes it sound scary, like you're wrecking something, but it's just air pockets in the crash wrap. Woohoo! Gotta love working around headers. Can't get a socket. Can't even get a socket on this one. So I have a shorter socket. We'll try. I don't know if I can get a wrench in. Sure, you saw those before, so that's what we're gonna have to put on and then take a wrench, turn it off. That's a fail too. So I guess I'll fight this plug out on my own because it's going to be your imagination anyway. So just for your information, what happens if you don't pull the plug wires or the plugs and temp sensor and all that stuff out before you take the headers off? The headers will take it all off. Not nice either. So you want to make sure that you've got everything out of the way of the header. So what I did is I took all the header bolts out that you need a wrench to get out, and the rest of them now I can just do there. We may end up having to replace this dipstick too, because it's probably going to get trashed on the way out. Sorry, camera was off, didn't realize it. Been fighting with this thing for a little bit. One side's flat. Pounded on a little, tapped it in a little bit with a hammer. It looks like it's glued in with kind of one step or something, so I already flattened the one side. I can still salvage it though with a punch and clean it up a little bit, but what I'll do is I'll grab onto it with a needle nose in all the way, another plier, and lots of times, I don't know, it might get wrecked, but oh, she started to turn. I couldn't get her. We're gonna be able to salvage her. So yeah, she's flat on one side and whatever, but yeah, that was glued in pretty good. Anyway, looks like someone's already squished it here trying to get it out before. We'll just fix it up a little. It'll be fine. Sorry I didn't mention it, but I ended up having to put the header at least partially back on. And but it looks like I gotta pull the clutch shaft out of here before I get that header out, so that's what we'll do. It's nasty when stuff's covered in oil. At least we know which way this has got to go back together. So I'm just going to lift the car up, fish the headers out. I'll probably have to fight with the cross shaft bolt. I'll see if I can get it out. And then back down, we'll yank the rod and everything. Headers came out beautifully, no big deal there. That's a little on the loose side. So aftermarket pulley setup, they'll have washers, spacers, everything. You really want to pay attention when you're dealing with those. So just take note of where they are. And this is going to be set against the fender here because we don't want to take power steering out of the car. We end up with a mess doing that. Just want to make sure that we set this back together with the spacers in the correct spots. Yeah, not too difficult, not too difficult. When you're doing this, you want to be careful. I'm going to pull the rod out here, because then I can put it out of the way without it being in trouble. This has got a couple washers. I know where they were. I'm going to put them back in there right now so I don't forget. I don't know how long it's going to be before I get this motor back, so I don't want to have to figure crap out when I'm putting it back together. You want to have it where it's, okay, that goes there, that goes there. I mean, there's lots of ways of doing it, but how simple is it to tape it in place? Pretty straightforward. So when you're putting this stuff out of the way, you want to make sure that you're not scratching stuff up and that it's out of the way when you're working. So we got some big spots here to dry it, so that'll be good. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So I'm at a point where I just got to bolt the lift plate on, get the crane in here, lift this out, but I have too many tools out and it gives me anxiety that way. So I'm gonna do a full clean the floor, well, get it back further cleaned, and then we're gonna restart. So I have to tell you, really not having a good day with cameras and batteries, so I don't know what happened there. My memory was full. Maybe it was talking about me. All right, let's keep stripping this down. That wasn't even close to tight. So this is the clutch pivot shaft ball. Yeah, you want to take out as much as you can if you're doing a build that you are sending away to somebody to have built. When you get all the fittings and everything out. Huh, that's pretty hamburger. Not sure what's going on with that. It's got a lot of paint on it, that's all. Anyway, we are sending this to a local shop who I have faith in that they're going to be able to handle this without any issues. So I don't think I'm not taking valve covers off. They'll get back all sealed up. I think we'll leave the block off plate on the front so I don't have an oil mess. I'm just going to leave it pretty much the way she is right now. And we'll, yeah, I think we'll be good with it. So, anyway, into the back of my truck and off to the machine shop. We'll clean up a little bit more, but that's tomorrow because it is after supper and I had supper. Can anyone tell? Hey, thank you again for joining me on this El Camino engine R&R. If you haven't checked it out, check out the first video. And please join us on the next video and we'll see where this adventure takes us. So please share, like, subscribe. That really help us out. Thank you so much. Have a great day.